Hello, my hearties. A very good evening to you. It's just me, Scottie McClue. Friday night, nothing gets past me. I thought I'll pop up and just say hi and see what's happening with everybody. So a very, very warm welcome. Now, we're just on the YouTube tonight, so we should even be able to take some phone calls if you fancy it. And I'll give you the number for that as well. It should be in front of you on your social media, but I shall give you the number as well, and we can chit chat. So glad you could join me, and a very, very warm welcome. Scottie McClue, of course, hashtag FLOTI, all in uppercase, the first lord of the internet, and we're live on YouTube. Normally it's Saturday night, 9 o'clock sharp, but I thought tonight we've just managed to get a window in my space, and I thought I will go live onto YouTube and see what's happening with everyone, because we are approaching the festive time of year, the big Christian festival of Christmas. Well, not just Christian, for everyone, really, the Christmas festival. That's coming up, of course, faster than we even know it. I can tell you. So there you are. And people are getting very, very down with the weather, things like that. So I thought, time to go and see if we can give the nation a bit of a lift. That's what it's about. Murray O'Donnell, hello there, Scottie. Watch it for Bert tomorrow. Oh, don't you worry. I'm ready for Big Bert if he squares up to us, Murray. Don't you worry about that, Lala. Absolutely. I can tell you. Lovely to hear from you, by the way. Did you get your notification? Or is that a silly question? Good evening, Scottie, says the wonderful Susan. Good evening, Susan. So glad you could come and join us. And a very, very warm welcome. We're getting better all the time. More bandwidth is on its way. You did, Murray. Fantastic. Always a top man, and always so kind of you to come and just give us your company. That's what it's all about. Just had a wonderful experience there. I found an interview, a television, newspaper interview with my old boss, who's 102. There you are. It's one I would love to have a chat with him, because he's such a nice guy. This guy, Murray, used to do his day's work, and I think it was about a 70-hour week he did. And then he would come down and chat to me at night about maybe 9 o'clock or something like that. And the controllers would go, "Can we help you, sir? Are you all right?" No, just get in for a word. See what the man's up to here. Good evening, everybody. So lovely to have you with us, and a very, very warm welcome to Scottie McClue. There's the wonderful Susan from Lancashire. Hello, Scottie. Hello, Susan. How lovely to have you with us. And a big dinky-do, I can tell you. Maybe we'll get a call from you, Susan, and you can tell us how things are in Lancashire. Good evening, morning, afternoon, night, Sarah. A very good evening to you. Where are you from? Guys, tell me where you're from when you're commenting, and then I know what is what. I mean, Murray, Susan, the other Susan, I know where they're from, so not a problem, but do come on and tell us where you're from. Sarah's watching from Washington State. Sarah, tell me, are you a Trumpy? Because over here, they love Trump. I tell you, that's what it's about. Amy says, "Hey, Scottie, am I too late again?" Amy, you're absolutely spot on. We went live at 10:45. So we've been live for 4 minutes, and we'll see how it goes. That's what it's all about. No, says Sarah, you're not a Trumpy, Sarah. Well, over in the UK, they're very, very big on Trump. They think he's going to save the world. Scottie, the only country in the world with a Bible in its flag. Robert, absolutely, yes, indeed. I tell you. From Motherwell, Scottie, very exotic. Well, Amy, I always like to go to Motherwell. I book a holiday every year because of the beach. The beach is so wonderful, I tell you. Sarah says, "I'm a Welsh woman on tour." Oh, I say to you, Yakida. Is that right, Yakida? And I would say to you, Nosda, when we go. Yes, indeed. I used to broadcast to Wales. I don't speak Welsh, Sarah, but I used to broadcast to Wales and I loved it. It was absolutely fabulous. So there you go. And it's so good to have you with us. And what are you touring with? Are you an actress? Are you just touring America? Do tell. Robert says the Dominican Republic is the only country in the world with a Bible in its flag. Wow, Robert. Do you remember a program, it's maybe still going, called Desert Island Discs? And it was great. It was a guy called Roy Plumley used to do it, and they had on really top people. And in those days, politics was very highly respected in this country. Sadly, not quite the same at the moment, but it'll come back. Everything's cyclical. I tell you, Borada is good morning. What about Yakida, Sarah? What's that? Good evening, Scotty. You taking calls? Glenn, yes, I'll take a call off you. Nosda is good night. I say, well, we won't say Nosda yet, I hope. I tell you. So there you are, the beach. And then again, we do have a sandy beach near the Strathclyde Loch. Yes, but I don't think I would risk going in there. I think we steer clear of that. I tell you. Sarah's just on tour. So you're just touring, Sarah. You're just going around the States. What have you seen? What's happening? What's it like? Do tell. This is the whole function of this program, Sarah. People say, what do you discuss on your program? Say, everything, anything. That's the beauty of it. I tell you. Now, what else is happening here, guys? Come and join me as soon as you possibly can. Share the broadcast. Tell 10. Yes, I do, Scotty. Very informative. Desert Island Discs is just sad now. The world is such a mess, but we can't let it affect our mental health. We need positive people like you. Yes, you do. And I am very positive. Call coming in. Let's see what's happening. You're live with Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
DINKY-DOO, Scotty, how you doing?
Hey, Glenn, are you all right, Lana?
Yeah, I'm not so bad, thanks. What do you reckon to Mr. Starmer at minute, Scotty?
Oh, well, I wouldn't even go so far as to comment on that, Glenn.
Do you think he's picking pieces up from Conservatives?
Oh, no, I just haven't got any time for any of it at the moment. I want Mr. Trump to get in and get his feet under the... No, he's not in yet. He's president-elect. But I want him in there, right in the White House, making all the decisions, put a stop to the wars right away, stop to the nonsense. And because Mr. Trump's one of the few grown-ups we've got in politics that just doesn't tell us whoppers all the time.
Do you think he's misunderstood then, Scotty, at times?
What, is Trump misunderstood?
A lot of people are a bit...
Oh, no, that's all falling for a lot of poison that's been put out there. Look what they've done to that man. Look what they did to Jesus Christ. Now, I'm not saying Donald is Jesus Christ, but look what they've done to him. I mean, they crucified Jesus. What would the press have made of Jesus? They'd all have been against him, wouldn't they?
Do you think they're crucifying Trump in fear of them, Scott?
Well, they tried to, but he's risen again. You know, they tried to, but the man's out there.
How long will his tender last for, though, Scott?
Well, 4 years, if he's spared.
So then after that, he won't be able to come back again?
Well, no, I'm sure he could come back. I mean, if he's feeling up to it and he's done 4 years and he's sorted out the world, and we think, hey, this is the man for us.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Scotty. A prime minister can't be re-elected after he or she can.
Well, of course he can. Yes.
Has that happened before?
Yes, Winston Churchill. They threw Winston Churchill out after the war. They thought, right, we've had enough of old Winnie, and then they got him back in.
Oh, so it is possible in this day and age.
Churchill finally retired against his will in many ways on, let me get this right, the 5th of April, 1955. Right? He had dinner with the Queen and Prince Philip at Downing Street. And then that was him, and that was him out at 80.
I love your knowledge, Scotty. Anyway, by
You
the way,
know?
I think you're a very well-educated man. Anyway,
Oh,
I
it's
appreciate you.
just passing stuff. You need to have the information, Glenn, or you
Absolutely.
can't be regarded as an expert.
Sorry for my ignorance, anyway.
No, Glenn, don't you ever apologize, honey. You've no need to. No, 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 no. Listen, you can't know about everything, but we'll give it a blooming good go.
Absolutely. I'm learning from. We can learn from each other, can't we?
We can. We're learning. We're learning from the masters, and there will be a lot of stuff that you know I don't know. And one of the things that I found out is that the more you know, the more you realize that you know next to nothing. You know.
So it's good to learn new things every day.
Oh, all the time, all the time. I can't get enough of it. I mean, I managed to get a window here so I could go live.
There's a lot of people out there that they think they know everything, and at times this is the thing.
The smarty pants.
You want to pass the message on to them, and they just don't want to know it, do they? After the time,
the smarty pants. I once worked for a company, and we had this board of directors, and I sort of had all the knowledge, and I had to not appear to be a smarty pants.
Right.
So I had to do the ever so humble, you know what I mean?
I mean, you're not too big-headed about it.
Listen, you can never be big-headed, Glenn.
No, definitely not.
You know, and gaining knowledge is one way to make sure your head never swells.
You're just informing other people on
that's all I do. All that Scottie does is he explains. Somebody once summed it up. They said, "What's Scottie McClue's show about?" And they went, "He explains."
If somebody don't want to know what you've got to tell them, then
that's their problem. It's not mine.
Exactly. You don't need to take offense to it, do you?
No. I mean, I've got this YouTube channel, right? Now it's very, very popular at the moment. And we also, as well as the talk shows, we upload movies I've chosen that I think people will enjoy. And boy, do they enjoy them. Some of them have got 500,000 viewers, right?
Fantastic.
You know, now, the thing is, you get people on making comments, right? One the other day says, "Oh, ridiculous amount of commercials in this. I know you've got to make money, but this is just silly." And I said, I don't make any money at all. Nothing.
They're showing an interest in something like that, then, if they're not interested in it.
Well, I had to say to them, "Would you like to tell me how much it cost you to watch this movie you're complaining about?"
Yeah.
You know, and it's that, you know.
Material you put on, they don't have to watch it, to be honest, Scotty, if they don't want to, do they?
All they need to do is scroll on. It doesn't matter. We don't need to hear the comments.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. If they don't like the comments, what you're putting on, just move on and look on something that they are interested in.
Move on, Lala. Listen, talking of moving on, I'm going to have to move on, but it doesn't mean I don't love you.
Love you, Scotty.
I think you do, Lala.
I think you do, Lala. Take care, Scotty. Lala.
Night, Lala. Top man. So there you are. That's our Glenn. What a great call. Now, what have we got here? They don't take over until January, says Amy. Well, that'll be about right. I mean, he'll be making calls now and running things because the place, America's been neglected for 4 years. People with fitted carpets and wooden lavy seats, that's a problem. Lindsay, you're absolutely right. I tell you, they think they're somebody. You can't have more than 2 terms. This is his last term. Yes, I'll tell you, says Neil. Yeah, well, that's it. 2 terms, yes, in America. I don't know about if you could have we had 3 times Prime Minister here? I'm just trying to think. Trump can't do other terms. He's done 2. He can only stand twice. Right, Susan? Well, that's that. There's the wonderful Alan Brown. Greetings, my good old man. Now, Alan Brown, guys, was a colleague of mine, 33 years ago, and a wonderful, wonderful man. And he's one of the top voiceover kings in America. So if you want to advertise your business, get in touch with Alan Brown. Alan Brown Voices. Yeah, so you tell him Scottie McClue sent you. And Alan will do you the most wonderful. He's got this most gorgeous, rich Scottish American voice. And he will advertise your products. I tell you, our Alan Brown. So they are Alan Brown Voices. Look it up on the internet. Hi, Susan, says Amy. Scottie, I've arrived. Not my fault I'm late. It's always your fault you're late, numpty head, in some way or another. But that doesn't mean you're not 100% forgiven. I tell you, about time you were here too. My goodness me. Whew! We've been busy tonight, numpty. We just decided to pop up at a quarter to 11, 15, 16 minutes ago. Thank you, my friend. Not at all, Alan. Guys, that's Alan there. Allan. Brown as in Brown. All right. Allan. There's a name to conjure with. So, if you're in America or worldwide, you get Alan Brown to voice your product. Are you familiar with the Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene, Scottie? Yes, I am. Do you think she may run for president at some point? Amy, I would rule nothing out. There are many, many talented people. But what Donald Trump does, even let's put the politics aside, he's a great deal maker. And once he's given you his word, that's it. Now, how many politicians do we know like that? I tell you, no names, no pack drill, please. If you've just joined us, a very, very warm welcome. You're watching Scottie McClue. We are, of course, live on the big one. If you're watching right now, get subscribing to the YouTube channel. Doesn't cost you a bean. Get down to the bottom and give me a thumbs up, bottom left of my picture right now. Can you hear me and see me, guys? There we go. Now, who have we got here? Good evening, Scottie, says Tups Wahey. Tups Wahey, Wallace Blood. There. Now, I've sung you a song. You'll see it on the YouTube here. Listen to it. The poem is ancient. It's Robert Burns, and it's My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose. Now, normally the tune goes, oh, my love is like a red, red rose. Yes, this is a different tune. Telephone. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who is that, please?
DINKY-DOO, Scottie. How you doing? I haven't spoken to you in a while. It's Tom here.
Tom, how are you getting on, la? How lovely to hear you. Tom in Belfast, folks, in Northern Ireland.
Oh, Scottie, I'm with this thing that's happened since we were last speaking.
Yes.
The big DJT got into the office.
Yes.
Got elected.
Got elected. Donald Trump got elected.
Yeah, it's great to see him.
I think it's absolutely wonderful. And I think it's very good for the world, because the world right now is a very, very dangerous place. It's just teetering on the brink, and we need a big, strong, grown-up, common sense individual to get some common sense into the world leaders.
Exactly, Scottie.
You know?
Well, I haven't been on in a while, Scottie. I got a new job there, and I've been flat out, you know.
Tom, you know America. You were over touring America, weren't you?
I'm just back from it there last August.
Absolutely. Did you have a nice time? What did you think of it?
Fantastic, Scottie. I think I'm going to actually bring my trade over there with me, Scottie. I'm spending a few years out there.
You're a Sparky Tom.
Correct, Scottie.
Yep, absolutely. We love it. Wonderful, wonderful.
So it might take a wee while to get to the grips over there, you know, because as I say, their wiring's different. We're 230, they're 110, you know, so it might take a wee while to get used to it, you know.
Oh, no, listen, you sort yourself. Never trust an electrician with no eyebrows. Tom, tell me this. I've got an outside light at the moment, right? And I flick it and it flashes and then doesn't do anything else.
It flashes?
Yep, it flashes.
Is it just like a switch on the wall, Scotty?
It's a switch on the wall, and it goes on for a nanosecond. Then that's it.
Well, I was going to say it sounds like it tripping, but if you turn it off and turn it back on again, and it still flashes.
Yes.
It's probably something to do with the fitting, Scotty. Is it no light? Is it?
It's an old one. Do you think the fittings had it?
It's either the fitting or there's a wee break in the connection, but I can't imagine there would be a wee break.
No,
in the
don't think there's a wee break. The wiring's good and the rest of it, and you flick on the switch and it goes flash on, and then that's it. Nothing. Darkness. And then you do it again, same thing.
Tell me this, Scotty. Is it just like a sort of light you'd have mounted up on the wall, like maybe an old street light you'd get or something?
It's an outside light.
What sort of shape's it in?
Oh, just a lantern shape. You could lift the top off.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, you should be able to get a new bayonet holder for the inside, Scotty.
That's what it'll be. That's what I shall do, Thomas. How lovely to hear you.
Yeah. So hopefully you get that. Because you can get them nowadays with what's called a PIR sensor on it, so it'll turn on when it picks up somebody.
It is. It's got a sensor on it. Will the sensor maybe have had its day?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. New fitting, I think. New fitting, Tom. Splash out, save up.
Yeah. Scotty, there's a lot of maintenance has to go on with McClue Towers. That much of a premises.
The fourth rail bridge has got nothing on McClue Towers.
Yeah. How are the maintenance men getting on over there?
Host one of them. If they'd stop drinking tea, it would help.
Well, that's what we all do, Scotty. It's about 3/4 of our time is sitting in canteens drinking tea and all.
Campaigns and drinking tea. Tom, I'm going to dash. We're pressing on tonight, but that doesn't mean I don't love you lots.
No problem, Scotty. Good speaking to you.
Lovely to hear you, and DINKY-DOO.
DINKY-DOO, Scotty. All the best.
Top man. There's our Tom from Belfast in Northern Ireland. Screw the ball bin, fathers, says Alan Brown. Yes, Alan Brown, a very wise man. Whoa! The phones. You're listening to Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, Scotty. This is Top Swahey that you just said hello to on your chat.
Top Swahey, what a joy to hear you.
Well, I thought that I really should phone just to thank you for something, because I've been stealing a bit of your patter for the last 25 years, and I got a massive win with it just the other week there. You'll remember the phenomenon of mumbling pants.
Oh, the mumbling pants, yes. Yes, they would talk to you.
Well, just for the benefit of people who don't know, it's leggings that ladies wear.
Yes. We're not going into too much detail.
Okay. But it's a phenomenal bit of pattern I've been stealing for like 25 years. And now my nieces are all grown up now, so they're old enough to handle this kind of chat.
They can handle the chat.
I used it at a family event just last weekend, and it was a massive hit. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to speak to you.
No, my dear fellow, you're very, very welcome. That's great news. We used to have a lot of sayings by SCOTTIE McCLUE are out there now, and sometimes the odd comedian pinches them. It doesn't do them any good, because the people know where it's come from. They go, he's just a pound shop SCOTTIE McCLUE, that one.
Yeah, but the thing is, we both know that the real SCOTTIE McCLUE is a pound shop SCOTTIE McCLUE, right?
Absolutely, and the rest.
Well, anyway, that's really all I
wanted. In fact, in this climate, we're 90p.
Oh man, no! With inflation now, it's like £6.50.
A £6.50 shop, SCOTTIE McCLUE. I might open a chain of shops called the £6.50 Land.
£6. Oh yes, it's not catchy. I think I'm trying to think what you
maybe needs a bit of work. What about Mumbling Pants Land?
Mumbling. No, it's known as the Silverburn Shopping Centre.
Thank you very much. Right, there we go. Now then, wonderful stuff. Murray's laughing away there. Pound stretcher. Oh, I don't think we can stretch a pound much further. A pleasure as always catching up, Scottie. Oh, absolutely, Tom. Always lovely to hear you. Get the numpties out the White House, says Neil. Absolutely, Neil. That's what we're wanting. Tremendous stuff. Now then, who else have we got here? Alan Brown is still with us. We love that. Good to hear Tom, says Susan. Oh, yes. Always good to hear Tom. There's shops in Northern Ireland called the Pound Stretcher. Yes, well we want to pound stretch and stretch some more. The high dusting. Oh, Murray, we used to do the high dusting. I tell you, get the missus to do the high dusting. I saw one the other day, and it was about the lady who threw herself under the king's horse, the suffragette. And somebody said, does everybody know, pardon me, the story of the suffragette? And we said, yes, everybody knows that. And then they said, yes, but what they don't know, that night there was a man that never got his tea. Oh, you can't say, oh, you can. There we go. Keep your man puffed out. Yes, Murray, if they would keep their man puffed out, they wouldn't wonder. I always say this to the ladies, are you keeping your man puffed out? It's very important. Scottie, I'm heading up the wooden hill. God bless La. Yes, indeed. You get yourself up to your Margaret. Yes, that's the one. See if you know that one. That's a wee bit of rhyming slang. Off to your Margaret with you. Now then, what else have we got here? Do give us a wee call or give us a bit of chat here. There were lots of men that lost their bet on that horse. Amy, you're absolutely right. I wonder what the setup was. Although, as I've always said, if you're backing a horse, never back one that's too well bred. Because when he goes out the starting gate, he'll stop and shut it behind him. Oh, General Sup. Now, folks, if you've just joined us, this is what you have to do on this show. You have a General Sup. Can everybody get sharing and subscribing, please? YouTube's doing extremely well, Scottie. It's doing okay, Tom. We need a lot more subscribers. So there we are. Neil says, yes, that's right. Remember that one. Should the fatties pay twice on the planes? You can't say that now, so you've got to say, should people who are on the higher BMI pay double on the planes? I think that's how you would say it now. Hi, also is the wonderful Jerry, who's just joined us. Jerry, a very, very warm welcome to you, La. So nice that you could join us. Are you enjoying the new look on the YouTube? Can you hear me and see me, Jerry? And is it working all right? What with the new camera? Murray, I also trust your judgment, so feel free to stick in your tuppence worth. Although you're a man that's stuck in a lot more than tuppence worth to Scottie McClue in your day, you generous, kind man. But no, I trust your judgment, Murray. So tell me if the pic's looking good and if we're a bit more sort of balanced. I've raised up the chat so I'm not staring down all the time and you're just getting the tap of my head. That sort of idea. Yes, crystal clear, amazing, I say to you. I tell you, Jerry, I thank you very much. The Ford Transit, John McDee, that just changed motoring. There are certain cars over the years that have just changed motoring. And the Ford Transit was a lovely, lovely thing to drive. The church minibus, the Scouts minibus, the youth club minibus, Ford Transits, and we used to save up because I think in school we had sales of work, we had fundraisers and everything because we had to raise £1,500 for a brand new Ford Transit. Would that be right? I tell you, in about 1970 odds. Spectacular, wonderful automobile, Scottie. Yes, but I mean, there's just so many British automobiles too that have changed. I mean, I've got a picture there of the family Model T Ford, a commercial wagon, and it's for Glendalough. You see? So there we are. They had a commercial wagon for Glendalough in the very, very early 20th century. Oh my goodness me. The Morris Minor. There's another car that's done a trimmer. The Morris Mini, the Austin Mini, the BMC Mini, the British Leyland Mini, the Clubman, whatever you want to call these cars. Tremendous cars. You know, the Morris 8. Yes, William Morris from Oxford. I've always been a big Ford man, Scotty. John McD, I've never quite been a Ford man. In my first car was a 1952 Austin Somerset A40, an A40 Somerset. Lovely, great big bulbous thing with a column change. And the wee round Austin pedals. Yes, Linwood, Scotty, the car factory. Well, Jerry Linwood were Roots Group, and they did Hillman, Humber, Singer. Well, Hillman, Humber, Singer. What else did Roots Group have in their stable? Hillman, Humber, Singer, Sunbeam. They'd taken over Sunbeam. So you got Badge Engineering, and you could get a Sunbeam Rapier, you could get a Singer Gazelle, a Hillman Minx. I'm not sure if the early ones did a Humber, because the Humber was a big, it still had the Roots 1725 engine, but it was a big creature, beautiful thing. John McD says, first car I bought, Scotty, was a 1991 Ford Fiesta SI, similar to the XR2. The XR2s in mint condition go for fortunes. Fortunes. And to remember the XR3, fortunes. A friend of mine wouldn't let me drive one. An old professor friend said, if you want to take my car. And he said, no, you're not touching it. You'll write it off, he said to me. Because the XR3 was a flying machine. Triumph. Yes, John Dolly. Triumph also German. Triumph. Triumph wasn't German, John. Triumph was a British make. Yes, Triumph was. Now, who was Triumph? And the Standard Motor Company went in with Triumph. And you'd Standard Triumph. And Standard was Sir John Black. You had the Ensign. And what else did you have? Then you had Jowetts in Yorkshire, the Jowett Javelin, the Jowett Jupiter, the Rover 75, the Rover 80, the Rover 90, the Rover 100, the 105, the 110, P4 Rovers. But there'd also been a P2, a P3 before that. Never seen a car as strong and reliable as a Saab, Scotty. Well, John McD, Saab, very, very high level of quality engineering. Swedish aircraft manufacturer. Beautiful. So there you go. Triumph Vitesse. Yes. Susan says the Singer Vogue. My father had a Singer Vogue with I think it had a 1500 engine. And then the later one had the 1720. He had two Singer Vogues. Yes, one of the Linwood ones. Amazing. And they were quite expensive. They were £1 a cc, so a 1500 car was 1500 quid. That's why, as I say, I think the Transit, when we did the fundraising at school, was to raise £1,500. I tell you, but Saab, very beautiful, beautiful engineering. Terrific defrosting capabilities. Sweden, Svenska, Volvo, another outstanding car. My father used to have a Mark II Volkswagen Passat. Well, they were beautiful. Passat, Volkswagen again, German, beautiful build quality engineering. My uncle worked at Talbot in Paisley, in the late 70s. The partner used to put marbles behind the dashboard, send the new cars out. Relations with the management. Jenny is £20,000 black 1980. Oh, the RS 2000 black in 1984. I had a Triumph Dolomite years ago. Had an overdrive switch. The overdrive switch would be on the gear lever, was it? And you flicked it. Leslie, yes, absolutely. Lovely car, the Dolomite. You had a 1500. And was there an 1850? But it was a flying machine. Triumph Dolomite, flying machine. Had a service done today. Got a call from the garage to say the car needed a software upgrade. Everything's computerized now. Gone are the days of the real mechanics. Yeah, but they still need to be trained, Murray. But you're right. They plug you in and they tell you what's needing done. And, oh, it's all right. We'll just remove these faults for you. Clear the faults. Ding, fault. I tell you, in fact, it was the AA man that said to me, I am a highly trained mechanic, he said, but these days I'm a computer man. There we go. John Donnelly, wow, one of the companies are made in India now. Now, India bought the tooling for the 1950s MO, the Morris Oxford. And that became the Austin Hindustani. And still to this day, you can get an Austin Hindustani. Absolutely. I think it's got a lot of Morris Marino stuff in it now. Yes, Murray, I bought a cheap Ford 10 years ago. The reason I had to scrap it because of repeated failure in the ECU, the electronic computerized unit. Is that right? They don't fix things now. They just replace parts and sensors. That's right, Murray. You've got a lot of fitters in the garage. Yeah, I think it's the chip if you pop that new one in. I heard a story that an old Northeast farmer had got a combine harvester and it just stopped in the field. And he thought, I don't know what's wrong with this. It wouldn't stop. So he phoned the headquarters or the customer service. And I think they were in Canada or America or something like that. And they said, where can we help you? He said, yeah, my combines just stopped. And he said, yes, it will have. And he said, well, how do I know what's wrong with it? He said, well, there's nothing wrong with it. He said, we'll start it up again as soon as you pay. So he had to pay his monthly payment on it. He was late with his monthly payment. So they were able to switch off his combine from America. I tell you, an auto electrician will never be out of work nowadays. No, you're right, Tom. Tom, that's another string you could have to your bow. Do not, telephone. Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hi, Scotty. It's Lee again from Barnsley.
Lee from Barnsley. We loved your call the other night.
Oh, thank you. I noticed what you said after I left, and it's amazing. Thank you.
Oh, no, we loved your call. And do you know what I was thinking, Lee? Somebody sent me a picture of Wentworth. Now, not Wentworth Woodhouse, Wentworth Castle. Yeah. And I remember, it's gorgeous. And I remember, tell me if I've got this right. I took my girlfriend and I at the time, we went to a May Day parade in Barnsley, and we met Tony Benn, the politician. Lovely man. And we got pictures with Tony. And then, with brass bands, we met everybody. And then I was up at the back of the park in the town centre looking over at Wentworth Castle. Would that be right?
Yeah, it would, because you can actually see it from that position.
From the park. Beautiful.
It's really nice.
And I just stood, Lee. It was May Day, so 1st of May. No surprise there. And it was a beautiful, warm, sunny day. And
it was. Yeah. if you don't mind, Scottie, I'd just like, because I'm a bit worried. You know, people probably won't. I don't know how many people are worried or not in UK, but this, what's going on with Russia, the fact that Ukraine has, you know, used a UK missile and it hit the Donetsk, it hit the border in Russia. I'm quite worried. I don't know if you're same, Scottie, but
everybody's worried. Everybody's worried.
Keir Starmer gave it the go-ahead, and I'm just scared about some kind of retaliation.
So
reaction. What do you think about it?
Well,
Scottie?
no, my feeling is, it's very, very worrying, but I'll cut through all this, right?
Yeah.
And I'll say to you, Mr. Trump is heading for the White House. Now, he has demonstrated that he is probably the world's top politician.
Yeah,
right.
Well, I'd have to disagree, but
you can disagree as much as you like. But I'm just telling you, I don't mind. You can disagree as much as you like. We could argy-bargy, but that's not serving. That's not giving you an answer.
Yeah.
I'm giving you an answer here.
Scottie.
And
I apologize.
No, Lee. What you've got to remember is I am apolitical. I know you said you're a Labour man. I've seen Labour do some great things and all the rest of it, but I'm not political at all.
They've done some really bad things. They've only been in government how long?
Well, you're dealing with what we call the Pinocchio effect, right? So you've got that, but let's leave that aside. This is too important for you and I to busy ourselves clashing horns, you see. Clashing as antlers.
Sorry, Scottie.
No, don't be sorry. You don't need to be. But what I'm saying is we've got Mr. Trump now. Regardless of what your politics are, Mr. Trump is very, very, very experienced. So he's the daddy of them all. He's the father of the house. Now he could pick up the phone and have a chat with Mr. Putin.
Yes. Sorry, I apologize. I'm butting in and butting in.
You butt in. We don't mind.
But I've seen some English newspapers telling people how to make a bunker in case there's a nuclear strike.
But you've only got, don't go to too much bother because you've only got 3 minutes. And if you did an egg, it wouldn't be ready.
Of course, exactly. You've not got any time to do anything.
You haven't any time, and you don't need to worry about getting your savings book or anything because you won't need that. But the thing is,
I just think this war's going to escalate, and it's going to.
Well, yes, it could well do with all this carry on, you know.
Well, I think if Russia does attack the UK, and I don't mean nuclear, I just mean a normal missile, then he's attacking the whole of NATO, isn't he? So how is NATO going to react to an attack on a NATO? A NATO member.
Again, you see, Lee, you've got to listen to what I'm saying. Just give me a minute to tell you. So Mr. Trump is in the White House.
Yeah.
He's able to pick up the telephone to Mr. Putin. Now, the other leaders probably can't do that, right? They're not big enough for that. And I'm sure if Mr. Trump called Mr. Putin would take his call.
Yeah, but not Putin. Trump is going to be president of the USA. It's not to do with
No, you're not listening. No, Lee, you're not listening. You're not listening to me. America is a member of NATO. Right, and America is the most powerful nation in the West.
Of course,
right?
Yeah.
So it's got a huge say at the table.
Oh, of course. To put the most money in, so of course.
Yeah. Well, it's got a huge say at the table. And Mr. Trump was even saying to them, I'm not going to go paying for this all the time. I will not have America fleeced in any way unless people are listening to what we're asking. Because he's worried, just as you are, about the security of America.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there we go. I mean, you know, the other thing that could be behind this, and the free press, right, of which there's not that much, but the free press are telling us, not much at all, but the free press are telling us that it's a last flick of the tail, the dinosaur's tail. Yes, a last bit of the snake.
Don't you think it's worrying that you know, the president of North Korea? It seems like there's North Korean helping Russia at the moment, troops and stuff. Don't you think if North Korea helps Russia, which they are actually doing at the moment, we know the nuclear capabilities with North Korea, so it's just worrying, Scottie.
Yeah, but it's still not a match. Well, no, you're quite right to be worried. Everyone's worried, but worry does not get you anywhere. Worry doesn't pay the bills. Worry doesn't sort this out. But what we can do, go on.
We have to remember as well, Scottie, the only nuclear bomb that has been detonated was by the USA in 1945 in Hiroshima
and Nagasaki.
So the USA, you know, it's just, I don't think it'll happen, don't get me wrong, but it's a worry, and it's not just me worrying, it's my family worrying, it's my friends that I spoke to.
Well, the thing is, we need to just pray to God, that you know, it will get sorted out by the big boys, because Britain's got a voice at the table, but it's not the loudest voice.
Yeah, I'm sorry if you think I'm being over the top.
I don't think you're being over the top. It's a very worrying time, but worry doesn't help us. We could work ourselves up to the nines, right? Because I'll tell you something: if the Big Bang did happen, none of us would be around, and the very rich, right? The only people that would actually make some money out of war, they would be in their bunkers, so they might survive, but they could never come up again, because the place would be irradiated. So if they want to sit eating you know, tinned pemmican or beef or whatever for the rest of their life underground, covered by hundreds of feet of concrete and steel.
Yeah, I mean, you're spot on with that, Scottie. And I mean, I live in Barnsley, so if it's just a missile, Barnsley's obviously not going to be hit. They're going to hit, you know, other cities.
No. Listen,
I still care for me English people.
No. You know, if it's the full bit,
nuclear.
If it's the full bit, then bye Barnsley, bye Manchester, bye London. You know, the whole lot goes.
Oh, God.
No. So that's it.
In Sheffield.
Yeah.
I'm not only talking about the people that I know. I'm talking about the UK public in general.
Yeah. No, the whole place goes. You wouldn't recognise the end of everything. But having said that, you know, having said all that, what's really to be gained by that? And if the money deletes the handful of the people who are trying to manipulate the thing,
of course,
if they think they're going to get off scot-free, no way, because they're going to have irradiated the world. So it's a little bit like you know, you say, oh, you know, I'd love to have some pudding and custard. You know, and then the cat goes and does a wee in it. You know, and you love the cat, but you're not having your pudding after that.
Of course. Do you mind if I ask you a question, Scottie?
I don't mind at all, dear boy.
Do you think we should get involved in the war between Ukraine and Russia? I know we're not an ally of Russia, an ally of Ukraine, just like most of Western Europe. But do you think there's more negatives getting involved than positives, or do you think, you know, we should help our NATO friends and help people that are
well, you see,
what
it's all to do with, well, I'll explain this to you as quickly as I can. There was a conference in the Berlin conference in the 1880s, and it was the Western nations deciding how they were going to carve up Africa, right?
Right.
Never mind the Africans. This was the Western nations. So British Empire, Belgian Empire, Portuguese Empire, Spanish Empire, Dutch Empire.
Right,
how could they all carve up Africa, right? All these empires. Yeah. Russia would be involved a lot, right? So that's one. How were they going to do that? Now, there will be people going, how can we carve up Europe? We want the bit that's got the most oil, gas, diamonds, water, precious metal, all that stuff, right? How are we going to do this? And there's going to be a bit of a fight for it. Like what we don't realize, we were so busy celebrating the end of World War II that what we didn't realize was that Churchill, he realized he wanted to go on. The reason they wanted to get into Berlin was to stop Russia taking over Europe.
Yeah.
You see? And that's why Berlin, until the wall came down, had the British sector, the Russian sector, the American sector.
Definitely.
You see? So because they'd had to carve it up, and Churchill was saying, come on, come on, come on, or he'll beat us to it. You see? So they got rid of Hitler, but old Uncle Joe was still on the move, you know, still on the march.
Yeah, and can I just say as well, Scotty, while I'm on phone to you, I've got my TV on mute, so it sounds, you know, but I've just been looking at comments, and a lot of people say we're already involved in this conflict because the Ukraine fired the UK missile. Now Putin has retaliated by, you know, setting, you know, bombing Ukraine with a missile. I don't know if you've seen it in news today, but it's just, you know, it worries me because what is Putin gonna do next? It may not be nuclear, but it may be a missile towards people that have helped Ukraine in this war. And as much as I want us to help Ukraine and be there for Ukraine, I do worry for the United Kingdom. Well, I'm not being selfish in that. No. Maybe I am being selfish. I don't know, Scotty.
Well, you see, it's the old one of rattling sabers. You've heard the term saber rattling. No, you're not being selfish in answer to your question. You're looking after your own. And also you're looking after your people. You're worried for not just your family, but for Barnsley.
Well, I mean, Scotty, to be honest, I don't know if I should admit this, but I'm a big, big Eurovision fan, and I've got a lot of Ukrainian friends that are living in Ukraine, and they're having to deal with this war. And I've got a lot of Russian friends that are amazing.
Yes, of course.
Putin, that's, you know, it's just.
Well, it's not the people, is it? Because the people don't seem to have a say. You know, but it never is. It never is the people. The people don't cause the wars. But what you've got, it's poor quality politics because the politics have failed if a war starts. But there are still people making some serious money out of that war, but not the ordinary folk.
And there's a reason why Putin's been in power for as long as he has. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but there's rumors that Russians, you know, the result. I mean, it's not.
No, listen. You can't go down. No, but listen, Lee, you can't go down these roads because you don't know. None of us.
Sorry,
no, I'm just saying there's no point because none of us know. So keep your focus absolutely sharp. Watch Mr. Trump because he's grown up. He's big style. He's you know, he's heavyweight and he's respected. He's respected.
Well, you know, to be honest, Scottie, I'm not a fan of Trump. I couldn't believe it when he bet Harris.
But ask yourself why you're not a fan.
War, but if he stops this war, he's got me on side.
I tell you.
You know,
I'll tell you.
You know, it's dreadful, isn't it?
And if he stops this war, you've got me on side.
Oh, thank you. Should we start? Should we start building us bunkers in UK?
I wouldn't worry. You have as much chance of the coal bunker. No. Well, no, you're just being a bit light-hearted now, which is fine. Listen, love you lots. I've got to dash.
All right, you take care, Scottie.
You, Lala, as well. Ta-ra-la.
Right. Take care, mate.
See you, buddy. He's quite right. I mean, of course, everybody's worried. But what do you do about it? You're relying. We should be able to rely on our own politicians to sort it out. But, you know, all that stuff. Stop the money flow, says Neil. Absolutely, Neil. I lived in Russia for 3 years, so Saul. Wonderful, Saul. The quicker Trump gets in power, the better for world peace, says Ecam. Hang on. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Oh, Scottie Dinky-Doo. It's Numpty Heed.
Numpty Heed, the voice of reason. I knew,
Absolutely.
I knew you wouldn't belong in coming on.
Well, I've been trying to get on for the last half hour.
We're busy tonight, and it's your fault.
Sound at the door and stop it through.
Well, sound at the door and stop it through, Lala, yes.
Now, where's this? What's this? Who's been nicking your patter for the last 25 years?
That was a gentleman who's been nicking my patter, talking about mumbling pants.
Aye. Back to the telephones.
Back to the telephones. Hello, Scottie.
There's me started.
There you started. But Numpty Heat, listen, in fairness, joking apart, you have been such a superb support to me when things were really, really, really tough.
Absolutely.
And the same with Murray O'Donnell.
We must save the show. The show must go on.
The show must go on, I tell you.
Absolutely. Now, Scottie, I'm thinking about becoming a voiceover man.
I think you should.
A demo?
Yes.
With a quick demo.
Yes,
Scottie.
no names, no backdrill the mind.
The only name I'm going to mention is Scottie McClue. Right, here we go.
Go.
The Scottie McClue phone in. Now on.
Oh, yeah. Are you not just Jack the Lad?
Do you think they would play that on the telly?
Oh yes. Well, they would, and they would if I told them. Because you see, I'm the customer. If I had a few quid now, I could go to the telly company and say, "Can you advertise my YouTube channel, please?"
Aye. Now, Scottie, listen, Mrs. Numpty, she's left a note on the fridge door saying it's not working. She opened the door and it's working fine to me.
It's working fine, I tell you. So, see, when you opened the door, did the light come on?
Aye. And the freezer compartment.
And did you start speaking right away?
She's saying it's not working.
Did you start speaking?
In her life.
We used to say that about broadcasters. They used to go, he would turn up to the opening of an envelope.
Absolutely. Just in case.
And he used to say, he opens the fridge door and if the light comes on, he does 10 minutes.
Now, Scottie, quickly, before I go, right?
Yes, Lala.
I went in the pub with one of my pals and we took arranged foods, like arranged sandwiches.
Ken.
Right, but the barman says, you're not allowed to bring in you're not allowed to eat your own food in here. So what we've done is we swapped the sandwiches.
I love it.
Well, I ended up with the BLT while my pal got the tuna crunch. So that worked out all right, eh?
That's wonderful. No, I've heard all sorts of stories. I remember a huge argument breaking out in a pub garden. And it was the landlady, a huge argument broke out. The landlady went berserk because somebody they'd come in and ordered a drink. And then they had a half bottle of spirits in their handbag. And they were topping up out their own bottle and sitting in the pub.
Well, Scottie, that's an old trick.
I've done it myself. No, but she came out and went absolutely daft. She said, "Do you take me for a fool drink up and go.
Well, that's why they search the handbags as they go in.
Was that right? What a silly carry on. You're either going for a drink, you know. You see, drink used to be quite cheap. My first, no, it wouldn't be because I'd be too young at the time. But just before I had my first drink, the rugby club were 2 and 2pence a pint.
Oh, Scott, you're going back, eh?
2 and 2pence. So what's 2 and 2pence? That's 11 pence, Numpty.
That was before decimalisation.
Yes,
Scotty.
yes. So I was.
Were you old enough to be in the
No,
pub?
no, not a decimalisation, but I can remember the prices.
You should have had your name in the poll.
No, I didn't need that because obviously I would be of age when I had my first, you know.
Absolutely. Now, what happened?
What do you mean, what happened?
Well, you were telling me a story.
No, that's the story. No, that's the story.
7 and 6pence.
No, the story was 2 and 2pence, 11p a pint.
For a pint?
Yes.
That's no bad.
And cigarettes at the time, you could still get 20 cigarettes for 3 and 6pence, 17.5p. Now they're 17.5 quid.
To be honest, Scotty, the price of cigarettes it's a wave. It's windy with cigarettes now, you know.
Just crazy.
Because they're far too expensive. You did a full-time job.
I couldn't. Well, I wouldn't go back to health-wise, but I couldn't afford it anyway.
Nah, and the price of a pint, Scotty, you're paying about £6 for a pint. A pint of what? Water.
£6?
A bit flavour. Aye, I'm telling you.
Oh no!
You nearly fainted there.
I'm still a wee bit light-headed. I'm just going to have to take a minute.
This is why people are drinking in the house more and more, Scotty.
£6 a pint.
They brought in the smoking ban and they put the price of the pints up.
Well, I was talking to a boy that smoked, and I said to him, do you go down the local still? He goes, no. He says, to be honest with you, Scotty, he says, I'm no putting on my suit to go down the local in a bucket and wet Friday night to stand outside having a conversation with somebody I don't know so I can have a smoke.
And do you know what's really bad, Scotty? Is when you actually go out for a cigarette and you go back to your table and your pint's been lifted for the barmaid because she thinks you're away.
Oh, gee. That's terrible. You know, no. I liked it, as I say, you know. I could go to probably maybe 5 shillings a pint. So that would be 4 pints for £1.
Well, here, I wish I was drinking with you back then.
That's right. Because I would think 5
I could have
shillings.
afforded it back then.
Yes, 5 shillings, I tell you. There's Murray. Murray says, Numpty Heat, I ken a boy that kens a boy.
and his people probably ken my people.
Oh, and I could put his people in touch with your people, and perhaps the two of you could work out a deal, you know.
Absolutely. Get him to advertise on your show, Scotty.
I'll tell you, no, it just shows you, I still think, I'm a believer, and I still think this show could go big, but we need everybody who's watching to subscribe.
Well, listen, what we should do, Scotty.
Let me see who's subscribed.
We should have you on 5 nights a week.
5 nights a week.
10 till 1.
10 till 1.
10 till 1. Bring back the lovable lassie.
Bring back the lovable lassie. Right, here we go. We've got 25,687 subscribers. 25,687 subscribers, right? So by the end of this show, let's see if we can get another 313 subscribers.
Well, I'll put in a good word for you, Scotty.
Start sharing it. Start sending. Are you listening to this? All that.
I'll say to my pals, subscribe to Scottie McClue.
Scottie McClue. But the footage.
It's now on.
It's now on. Love your voiceover. Dinky-Doo, la.
Right, away you go and stop talking nonsense.
Away you go. I've never heard so much rubbish in my life. Right, who have we got here? Cheap to advertise on. What have we got here? Right. What have we got here? Stop the money flow. I lived in Russia for 3 years. We did that, yes. 66 years. The quicker Trump gets in power, the better for world peace. I tell you. When we all have the end times chat, Scotty. Oh, no. Should be a while away yet. Also, keep your horn in your halfpenny. So stop through here. Yes, indeed. That gave me the shivers. Release the sausages now, says CBGB. Scotty, amazingly cheap. You should, right? I'll have a look at that. The lighter call, thank goodness, says Leslie. Oh, I know. Yes, the heat of numpty, says Murray. That's the wonder of Scotty. Back in the day, the chats on the radio would swing widely in subject, and Scotty could handle it all. Absolutely. Listen, there's no shame in going from a fun call to a serious call, to another fun call, to another serious call. That's what makes the world's top phone-in show. And that's where I had my place. So let's not make it back in the day. Let's make it now. I tell you. Saul says, I lived in Munich for 30 years. Yes, a beer was only 4 marks. You're live in Scottish Phone-In. Who's that?
It's David.
David, how are you, Lala?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Are you still with us, Tim? It's 10 to 12 at night.
No.
Come you on for 2 hours?
It is not, is it?
It's 10 to 12, aye.
It's time I was away to my bed. I'll see you, bye.
No, stay on, David. I just see you there.
Yeah, we come on a bit later tonight, Davey. We came on at when did we come on at? Quarter to 11.
Well, that's not bad.
So we've been on an hour and 6 minutes.
Right, that's kind of fantastic. What about tomorrow night, of course?
Well, we should still do tomorrow night, but should we change from Saturday to Friday?
Yeah, I don't know. Friday or Saturday. Maybe make it 2 nights, Friday and Saturday, which, I mean, it's just sure.
Well, the only thing is the Saturdays are, yeah, but it's just, remember that's where we started just on a Saturday night, but it might be better placed on a Friday night when folk can get a listen.
Right, if that's the case, then I think, right, make it about 10:30 on Friday night, 11 o'clock.
Like we did tonight, we were, what did I say, 10:45?
That's not that okay, it's good, of course. So Scott, you still live? Right now you're live?
Of course we're live, absolutely, Lala, yes, indeed.
Right, so, I mean, what can I say to you about the state of the planet? Okay, back to the king. Why don't do something about the Keir Starmer?
Well, you see, I think you've got to let the man bed in, but the problem is they said a lot of things, in their what do you call it? What's the word for it? It's just going to my head there. The agenda when they're setting up.
So UK gave,
and then they've gone against what they promised.
That's right. They gave weapons to Ukraine. Come on. Do you think there could be a nuclear war? The truth.
Well, the only thing is, I say, fortunately, Mr. Trump's just won the election in America, and he's big enough to say, "Whoa, let's just all calm down here till we see what's what."
That's right. I mean, so what about Zelensky? Tell me a question about Zelensky.
Well, no. You see, I'm not going to go commenting on that because people will then pillory you for saying one thing or the other. So I'm not going to get into that. But what I will say is, let's just pray that the big boys get together and sort it out.
Right.
Because there's no benefits to anybody in a war, unless maybe for a bit the people that are making the weapons, but they would disappear in the explosion anyway.
We all know that. No one would really. Again, okay, before we go, what about NATO?
Well, NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, getting together in 1948 after the Second World War, and they again were terrific. But what you'll find is all these organizations get infiltrated by politically minded people. Yes? And then if you're not careful, the beast can turn. So the best way I can and I'm choosing my words here, but the best way I can put this is, if you create a monster, it needs to be fed, right? So always have that. If you create a monster, it needs to be fed. Like, you and I could go out now and say we wanted a great big Pyrenean mountain dog as a pet, but we'd have to go down the pet shop and spend some serious money on food.
Of course. Oh, I know that.
You know,
I know.
And that's where we're at, Davy, to put it that way. If you create a monster, it needs to be fed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so here we go. What about Korea? Right. So,
well, Korea, you've got two. You've got North and South Korea. In 1953, we had the Korean War, and a lot of British soldiers lost their lives in the Korean War. You know, very tough fighting. And that was fighting the Chinese, you know, from that side. So I think the trick's to say, look, try and learn your lesson from the First and Second World War. Although we were shouting victory over the Nazis and all this stuff, nobody actually ever wins a war.
No.
And fighting for peace is the equivalent of making love for virginity.
That's a good statement.
You know, that's what it's like. You like that one, but that's kind of what it's like.
I love that.
You like that one? Making love for virginity.
We're getting back to normal. So you go next Friday then.
Well, yes, I think we'll look at it, Davey, and see what people think of tonight. What I need is subscribers now. Serious amounts of people going, yeah, just click subscribe. I like this guy.
I was busy speaking to my family because my family's got there's prostate cancer in my family, and
oh no,
it's bad news. So anyway, I was just talking to my family members and my friends about my brother-in-law who's got bad news. Anyway, that's just part of life.
Part of life, Davey, and it's going on a lot.
Yeah, we know it's my friends. I mean, you know. So who phoned in tonight? Just tell me who phoned in tonight.
Oh, everybody's been phoned in. No, we haven't had Kareem tonight, but we had Lee from Barnsley, we had Numpty Heat, we had Tom from Belfast.
Brilliant.
You know, so it's been a good wee night.
Good. So, are you going to go to bed soon? What's your plan?
Well, I'll need to go to my bed soon. I've just realised, I need to get the malted milk on.
Malted milk? Here. I've got carnation milk. It turns into caramel cake.
Oh wow! I'll tell you, that's wonderful. I've sometimes I do a wee hot chocolate, half milk, half water.
I love hot chocolate and blow and all that stuff, you know.
Listen, you stick your tongue out and say ta-ta, and we'll catch up soon. Are you ready?
Ta-ta, Scottie.
Ta-ta! There we go. Now, who have we got here? Good night, says Susan. Good night, every day. There aren't any nukes, says Saul. Well, thank goodness. Have a nice weekend, folks. Good night, John. You too, night, Jerry. Mind you've got the Kirkin Sunday morning, Scottie. Oh, Murray. Divine service. South Korea was rebuilt. Amazing place. Cat's been there, says Jerry. Absolutely, Jerry. Keep yapping, Davy. Keep Scottie on, says Numpty Hood. It's part of the jibby jabble. Hot milk, Scottie. Yes, indeed. Cold vodka for Reese's Tupsway. Not too much, though. I don't want you having a fat head in the morning. Thanks for the stream, Scottie. Brilliant. Did you find the name of the song, Scottie? No, the name of the song, it's the tune. What movie is that tune in? The song is Robert Burns' Oh, My Love Is Like a Red, Red Rose. But it's the different tune. Because normally it goes to Oh, my love is like a red, red rose. That one goes, Oh, my love is like. Oh, yes. Well, you know how it goes. You can see it there. There we are. So we'll see if anybody can name the movie that the song that I've sung. I might not have sung it that well, but it'll give you an idea, you know. Guys, we've got to dash. What a privilege it's been with you all. Make sure you get everybody subscribing. Watch this on your telly. We'll put it up as a live stream, and you can watch it in the catch-up. This is Scottie McClue saying to every single one of you, thank you for a wonderful hour and 15 minutes. We're going now. It's good to talk, says Murray. Yeah, it's good to talk. Remember they asked the boy, remember the boy that used to do the voice for the television, for the telephone company? It's good to talk. And he was on national television and they said, what fees have you earned from saying it's good to talk? And he said, £9 million. And that's about, oh, it must be 30 years ago, 40 years ago, probably. It's so lovely to be with you all. Please make sure you subscribe, share the videos, look at all the movies that are on the YouTube channel. Fill your boots with them because they're chosen with love. Remember, I make no money out of it at all. All the adverts will go to the copyright holders for the movies. So I don't make any money. And it was good for him. It was very good for him, Murray. I tell you, that's what we want in that one. Then I'll be sending you a wee gift. Got it, Mr. UK. Right, guys, I'll sing you the goodbye song. Are we ready? Goodbye, everybody, goodbye. Take care, everybody, as you go. Goodbye, everybody. Auf Wiedersehen. Au revoir. And cheerio. See you, my loves. God bless you. Love you lots. Stick your tongue out and say ta-ta. You'll get 2 goes. First go. Ta-ta. Last go. Ta-ta. Ta-ta.